today on Divorce Court.
I want Devarius to step up and be a man.
Communication between me and Latoya is not so good. It's like her way or the highway.
I think his mama is jealous because she ain't got no man. I look way better than her, and she just do too much.
When it comes to my mother, I put my mom first before I put Latoya first, because that's my mom. She took care of me, she birthed me, she bathed me.
I'm tired of being second place to your mama, your friends. I'm just second place to everybody.
I really don't see myself being with Latoya for the rest of my life. It's too stressful. I'm not trying to die.
His name is tattooed on me, so yeah, I am gonna be his wife.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Devarius Greaves Brown and Ms. Latoya Ward. The two of you have been together for 6 years, engaged for the last 2. You have 3 children together, but you don't know if you're going to make it, so you've come here to see me. Mr. Brown, I'm going to start with you. Y'all look sharp today, by the way. Like they're matching. Mm-hmm. Got the hot pink and the. I could never get my husband to wear hot pink with me. But Mr. Brown, why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're here today?
Okay, I'm here today to get help. Latoya has got me fired from 2 jobs for the simple fact that she thought I was talking to other women.
So what did she do? How did she get you fired?
She'll call the job back to back to back. And my boss got agitated with the whole fact that she kept calling. So she was like, I can't do this no more. You gotta leave, you know?
How did you lose the other job?
The other job, I was taking, well, all of it was me, her, and 2 other females was working at this job together. And she came to the job and just went berserk because she thought I was talking to the other girl. And eventually, we both got fired from that job.
Mrs. Ward, do you go crazy, call a man's job, worrying about what he's doing while he's there?
Yes.
How you gonna mess with your money like that?
Because he didn't tell you that one of his stalker girlfriends was working at the pizza place.
Oh, okay. So,
And I came up there to fight her and him. And was gonna fight everybody in there because he caught herself breaking up with me for like 2 weeks to go and be with her. And she was playing on my phone, telling me that, oh, they finna move together. And like I told her, you gonna always be a reject because he only contacts you when he's upset with me. And things are not going good at home.
Now, Mr. Brown, you left out the part where you left her for 2 weeks to go out with the co-worker. You didn't tell me that part.
No, that's not true. The girl started working at the job, and I told her, at least I kept it real and said, okay, this girl work here now. So she don't come down, oh, you ain't tell me this girl work here.
I got you, told you, and then but acted a fool anyway.
Right.
Now, I understand, Ms. Ward, you believe he got some other woman pregnant. Tell me about that.
Some people had passed away. We went to a wake. So when we went to the wake, he was supposed to go in, pay his respects, and come out, and let me go in and do the same thing. He stayed in there forever. I seen this girl when she pulled up. She waited for her friends. They went in, they came out. She must have spotted him because she came out, sat on top of the car, and waited for him to come out. When he came out, she took off and went and headed towards him. He went this way, she came back, went around. But by the time she got around our car, I had opened up the car door, like, yeah, I'm here, what's up?
For what? For what, though?
So,
Which would scare anybody.
When she saw me,
For what?
but when she saw me, she went back and tapped her homegirls to bring them with her. So I got out the car, walked over to him, and told him, let's go. Because we at a funeral home, and I don't care nothing about these people out here crying or being sad, because if they walk up to me and say anything, it's going to go down right here.
See?
So
That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
So when we got in the
very
car,
embarrassing.
he was like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that? So I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't say nothing. I'm like, nothing. He kept on nagging at me. So I'm like, okay, so you want to know what's wrong with me? Tell me why is a pregnant girl walking up to you. She don't got nothing to say to you. What is she walking up to you for? And is that your baby she pregnant with? Because when we seen her, she was not pregnant. If she was, I did not know. So how I know he didn't get her pregnant?
Really?
She got out the gate on that one.
So that is why I overreacted. So then after the wake, he was going to hang out in the neighborhood. If you wasn't going to meet her or meet up with her to find out why she big and pregnant, why she walking up to you, you wouldn't have left me and the kids home. You would have took us with you. So he getting all upset because I'm snapping about why she pregnant. He driving the car like a fool, running red lights, swerving in and out of cars. I'm like, don't drive like that with my kids in the car. So, and just went to cursing and going on and on. So when we get to the car, he get out the car, leave me in the car to go up 3 flights of stairs with a little bitty baby and a baby that can't really walk up the stairs.
I do everything myself when she ain't done.
He got out the car, standing, get it out my car, this and that, whatever. Okay, so I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there, I ain't gonna move. If I'm sitting in the car, you wanna go. If I'm sitting here, you ain't gonna go. So he took off walking. So when he came back to get in the car, there was no tag on the car. I had took the tag off the car, thinking he wasn't gonna drive the car with no tag. He drove the car anyway. Okay, so you go to this funeral tomorrow with no tag on your car.
This girl hood. What kind of...
Do you care to respond? I'm not altogether sure what she said. Do you have something you need to say, or?
No, she just crazy.
I gotcha. Yeah. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about the time that she packed up all your stuff and threw your stuff and you out.
I told him to answer his video chat, and I took his shirt and a lighter and told him that since he don't want to come get his stuff, watch me set it on fire. And he
But she wanted me to go through all this though.
And he hung up the video chat. And then after all
did you expect him to stay on and watch it? So, Mr. Brown, tell me about her throwing you out.
That throwing me out has happened plenty of times. She take all my stuff, pack it up. Oh, get out. Okay, I'm finna get out. So I get my stuff. I'm getting ready to walk to the door. Guess what? She in front of the door. Where you going at? What is you talking about? You just told me to leave, so why I can't leave?
Why can't I go?
She wanna argue and fuss and all this stuff. Well, I'm trying to leave. You just told me to leave, so why I can't leave?
How often does she put you out? You see,
anytime she get mad or she think I'm cheating.
Is it like once a month? Is it biannually?
Bi-mentally.
Oh, yeah. Ms. Ward, explain to me when, why, and how you put Mr. Brown out.
I physically packed his stuff one time, and that was after
Not true.
This funeral situation. Mm-hmm. He decided he wasn't gonna come back.
After showing out like that?
He wasn't gonna come back. So after the funeral, he still ain't come back. He didn't come back for, I'm gonna say, maybe a month and a half. He was acting like he was gonna come back, then he'll say or do something that'll make me mad. So I told him to answer his video chat. And I took his shirt and a lighter and told him that since he don't want to come get his stuff, watch me set it on fire. And
But she wanted me to go through all this though.
And he hung up the video chat. And then after all
did you expect him to stay on and watch it? But go ahead.
And then after that, I say maybe the next day or the day after, he came right back. But it's just the point. If you're going to be there, be there. I shouldn't have to act stupid for you to come. Or the kids shouldn't have to fall all on the floor, hyperventilating. I want my daddy, this and that. Because when they go aggravating me, that's when I start doing stupid stuff to aggravate him so he can come back. Because they sit there, when is my daddy coming back? When is my daddy coming back? Can you call my daddy? No, I don't want to talk to your daddy because if he wanted to talk to us, he would be here with us. And then when I get on the phone, my baby like, Mommy, you on the phone with my daddy? No, I'm on the phone with my new boyfriend. Mommy, I'm telling my daddy.
And she brag about this stuff, though. She brag about it.
I can't win for losing.
Brag about it.
So if the kid's nagging at me, I'm nagging at him.
Why didn't you come back at all?
Came back for the simple fact of my kids, even if they with me, they ask for her. And I get agitated hearing that, so I just, okay, come on, kids, let's go see mommy.
And if sometime you want to come home and bring a little sanity into the home.
Right.
Or does that never happen?
I try, I
You
try.
try. Now, I understand, Ms. Ward, that you want Mr. Brown to be a stay-at-home dad. So Mr. Brown, you say she makes it impossible. So I want to understand just what's going on. I understand that a huge issue in your union is his mother.
Yes.
Since we're talking about her, let's meet her.
Oh,
She lying. She lying.
Ms. Ward, explain to me why you want Mr. Brown to be a stay-at-home dad.
Because he need to see how it feel. I understand that it might not be a right thing because we both need to work. I understand that I might not make enough money. But it's just the point. I'm not quitting my job. He can go back to work, but I'm not quitting my job.
She want to go back now.
Your job as stay-at-home mom.
I quit that.
Oh, you quit that. Now you're working. And you
Now
want
she
him
don't
to be a
work.
stay-at-home dad.
Yes.
Because...
I don't feel he's going to last long.
What do you mean he's not going to last long?
He's not going to last long. I don't think that he won't be able to be a stay-at-home dad for a whole year. He won't, because all he does is the kids, when I be like, I'm finna go to work, they be like, no, mommy, don't leave us here, because daddy finna go outside and we gonna have to stay in the house and he gonna be outside with his friends.
First of all.
So the kids don't even want him to stay at home with them anyway. They rather for him to go to work and me stay at home.
So why do you want him to stay at home?
I was just
Kids
doing
don't
it.
want him. He don't want it.
He never
You say he ain't any good
he
at
never said that he didn't want to do it. I was only saying it to see how long, what he do it and how long he would last. He make more money than me. My finances, me working is not gonna get us nowhere anyway.
Which makes the
It was
beginning,
desire
it
to
made
have
no
him to be a
sense.
stay-at-home dad even that much more ridiculous.
It was
It made no sense
how
from the
can I
get-go.
put this?
You don't want him out in the public with women. That's
Yeah, you
what
right.
you
No, at all.
You're right.
You want him at
At
home
all.
so he doesn't talk to anybody. Mr. Brown, why don't you tell me how you feel about that?
I don't mind being a stay-at-home dad. Within the last job I had before I became a stay-at-home dad, like I said, I made enough money. I was working 10 plus hours a day. And I come home, try to get me a peace of mind, then go in with the kids and her, whatever. And that don't seem to work, because as soon as I get home, babe, I need this, come do this, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I just got home. I walk all day, and it's tiring.
Right. I understand that a huge issue in your union is his mother.
Yes.
Why don't you tell me what the problem is?
Okay, she always in our business, for one. She been in our business before this lady even laid her eyes on me. When she found out he had a girlfriend that was older than him and already had kids, she was against the whole thing. She didn't even meet me until I was pregnant with our first child. And
Which is how long after you were together?
About 4 months.
About 4 months. I'm not an ordinary girlfriend.
What?
At all. At all.
Explain to me the most problematic thing that has occurred as a function of her interference.
Her mouth.
What does she say? What's the worst
Everything.
argument you had?
Okay, we can start with her worrying about what I'm eating, how I'm spending money. She's upset with me because I want to eat high-end, and she doesn't like the fact that I'm spending her son money on high-end restaurants and fine
Spending our
clothing.
money, the family money.
Yeah, because his money is my money, so it's our money, whether I work for it or not.
Not technically. But
And
if you
she
wanna say.
feels that if I want to spend up all his money, then I need a job. Okay, and if you feel I need a job, then you should be paying for daycare so your grandkids can go to school, and then I can work. Then I can spend my money and his money. That would make it better for me. Or better yet, you can give us some money and I can spend her money and stay at home and keep my kids.
Mr. Brown, do you feel caught in the middle of your woman and your mother?
I do. My mother is my mama. You know, she raised me from a baby, birthed me, took care of me when I was sick. You know, she just want what's best for me. you know?
Right.
And that's my wife, soon to be, hopefully.
Gotcha.
Um,
Well, since we're talking about her, let's meet her.
Oh,
She lying. She lying. She lying. She lying.
Okay, I got it. She lying. We're going to figure out what she's lying about. Ms. Greaves, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you tell me your perspective on this union?
My perspective is that my son wants to do very good for himself, which is what I want. She's irresponsible. She doesn't want to cook. She doesn't want to clean. He wants to go to college, and there's things that he wants to do. She manipulates him. He's scared of her, probably because she's tall and he's short. And she doesn't want him out of his sight. That's the problem. The job in terms of the restaurant that she got him fired at, she would get his cell phone and call the phone numbers. Oh, did you call my man? Did you call my man? To the point where he got fired. And there's things he wants to do, and she doesn't want him because she's insecure. She's insecure because all the relationships that previously that she's actually had, obviously, the men never worked. They made quick money. He wants to work. He's a good man. I raised him to be a man and to take care of his responsibility.
Right,
yes,
man.
when he actually got with her, because I'm a single parent, when he got with her, when you take a woman, you take the children. I understand that. However, don't come into a relationship lying. She came in lying. He thought she had one child. Come to find out, she had 4 children. So it's like, okay, so where the fathers at? You want my son to sit here and help you, then you're on child support. She wants my son to marry her so that he can help pay her child support. Unacceptable. That's your responsibility.
okay, first off, let me get you straight. If we want to get married today tomorrow, honey, we're gonna get married because one thing about it, that's mine.
No.
I already done told you he's my man and
This
I ain't
is my
going nowhere.
son.
Girl, whatever, because like I said, you fake. You think and saying your grandkids, he has responsibilities. What do you do besides try to meddle in somebody's business? You need to get a man of your own.
Stop.
You need to get a man of your own because from my understanding, for the last 6.5 years that we have been together, I have seen her. She just previously got a man. So before she got that man,
No,
she
I
has
didn't have a man. He found me.
She has not had a man since Jesus died on the cross. And
When was that? When the last time you went to church? What you know about
and
Jesus?
one thing about it, like I said, she can't do for him
Joe,
what I
would you
can
like
do.
to go over there and calm everybody down? Obviously, we are in smack dab in the middle of some hot ghetto ratchet mess.
No, because she's ghetto and ratchet.
And there's no way in the world I can conclude this matter under these circumstances. And I just don't have the time, so I'm going to adjourn this session, and we are going to have to return on another day to find out just what the heck is going on with you people. This matter is adjourned.
It got so bad one time to the fact that my son had to be in the hospital because she was driving him crazy to the point where he had to be hospitalized and she had to be banned from the hospital.
My 4-year-old comes back home and say, "Oh, mommy, I was told that you're a bad mommy.
Not true.
Daddy is a bad daddy."
Your mom moved the truck, so now I'm going to just cut the tires. So now you can't move. Insecure.
Ms. Ward, you run fully and completely on your emotions, and you frighten me with that. Previously on Divorce Court, I understand that a huge issue in your union is his mother.
Yes.
Don't come into a relationship lying. She came in lying. He thought she had one child. Come to find out, she had 4 children.
Like I said, you fake. You think and saying your grandkids, he has responsibilities. What do you do besides try to meddle in somebody's business? You need to get a man of your own.
Mr. Brown, do you feel caught in the middle of your woman and your mother?
Divorce court is now in session.
We are reconvening in the matter of Brown versus Ward. We have talked about a lot of things that are wrong in the union. We have Mrs. Greaves here, who is the mother of Mr. Brown. We were talking about a number of things, but my understanding is, Mrs. Ward, you believe that she dips into everything.
Yes.
My understanding is you believe the financial situation is jacked up and she's the reason that it's jacked up.
Yes.
Why don't you explain to me why you believe that?
It's jacked up because of the fact that she came in with debt on child support, and she wants my son to help her pay child support. She actually needs to work and needs to take care of her own responsibility. That's not my son's responsibility. His responsibility is to take care of his actual children, which he actually does. But in terms of her wanting him to be a stay-home dad, I didn't raise him to be a homebody. I raised him to work and pay bills and do what a man's supposed to do.
Oh my God.
Now, Mrs. Ward, give me a second. Can you understand how a mother would be concerned that her son is paying for another man's kids and that the girlfriend is getting him fired all the time? It seems that you're throwing roadblocks into his smooth road of existence.
Okay. Yes, I understand that, but it has nothing to do with her. If he chooses to be with me and stay, that is his business. That's not hers. And what goes our finances and our money does not have anything to do with her because she's not giving us not a damn penny. And while we're speaking about our finances,
Go right ahead.
She shouldn't even be in here because she don't pay no bills.
Right. Let me ask you this, Ms. Ward. What do you believe is the one topic about which she intervenes that she really needs to stop?
All of them.
All
it's
of
not her business.
Uh-huh. Do you expect him not to speak to his mother at all?
No, I do not.
What?
That's his mother.
Right.
If he wants to go and spend time with her, go ahead and spend time with her.
If she agrees.
If she agrees.
He can go to her house,
say
but guess
okay.
who cannot go to her house? My children can't go.
That's not true.
Why won't you let him go
Because
to
she
her house?
only accepts the 4-year-old. She does not accept the other 2. And my kids are not going nowhere around nobody that does not like me. And as far
Not
as my
true.
4-year-old, she won't be going over there either because my 4-year-old comes back home and say, "Oh, mommy, I was told that you're a bad mommy.
Not true.
Daddy is a bad daddy."
Not true.
And they came from between my legs. I carried them for 9 months and I pushed them out. So where I say goes.
Now,
And in the state of Florida, grandparents do not have no rights.
Ms. Greaves, I want you to think about it. Do you speak ill of those children's mother while they're in the home with you?
No, I do not, Your Honor. I do not speak negative. As a matter of fact, what I do is I have a talk with them about family. I try to take them to church if she allows it. Again, she's very manipulating. For example, if she can't have her way, the same way she wants to control my son, is the same. She wants to control everybody except for herself. It's okay for her to do wrong, but it's not quite okay for anyone else to do wrong. So if she can control her children, control me, then she's okay. She cannot control me. So as far as the finance concern, again, he tries to work. He even went on another case where she's very insecure, is that he actually went to barber school. He wanted to be a barber. She was so insecure in terms of him being a barber that she went and signed up for barber school just to watch him to see if he had any girls that wanted to sign him.
In the school.
Did you sign up for barber school so
Yes,
you
I
can
did.
keep an eye on
And
Mr. Brown?
Yes, and while she's talking about that, I was pregnant, working, and going to barber school. And when he needed expensive clippers for barber school, they didn't come out her pocket. They came out of mine. I go to work every day, rain, storm, whatever. Went to work, made money, and went to school. And came and gave him
For
my
how
money.
long?
Ain't really make no money.
Girl, it ain't
Do
your
you want
business
to?
for
Let me
how long.
ask you a question. Do you want to live your entire life in mortal fear of him coming into contact with women, so that everything you do has to revolve around keeping an eye on him?
It's not the point of me keeping an eye on him. It's the way you do things. Because I come in contact with men and women every day. It's a man gonna be a man and a woman gonna be a woman. A hoe gonna be a hoe and a dog gonna be a dog. And one thing I'm not.
Do you think he's a dog?
No, he's just sneaky.
He's just sneaky.
Yes.
So you don't trust him?
It's not that I don't trust him. It's
So
just
if it ain't
that
trust, what
I
is the
feel like
relationship then?
there's not no reason for me not to trust him, because if I want to go on any social media sites, they're there. They're open. If he wants to go on my social media sites, they're open.
But she
I
controls
don't
his
want
site.
to.
That
We
doesn't
don't
make
want
any
to.
sense. You say you trust him, but you have to quit what you're doing to go on his job.
And has access
How
to
is that
his phone.
trust?
I didn't stop what I was doing because I ain't going nowhere. I was at home.
One time, she took his keys in his car
And threw him at him
Stop.
and threw him in the leg.
and threw him in the canal so that he couldn't leave because she thought he was going to see another woman. I had to call AAA to have his car towed. She got upset when it got towed and came and slashed the tires. Said, okay, your mom moved the truck, so now I'm going to just cut the tires. So now you can't move. Insecure.
Did you do
No. Never cut a tire.
Yes,
Took
you
a
did.
tag, put sugar in a gas tank, but never slashed the tire, baby.
Insecure.
Never slashed the tire.
first car
Anything
I
I
ever
have
bought with
done to
her.
him, I
The
can
first
remember
car.
what I have done, and I swear on all mine, I have never slashed the tire.
Do you know
If I'm
what
gonna
the
slash
stuff she
somebody's
doing,
tires,
though?
it'll be hers.
See what I'm saying?
Do you know what I find strange? Well, I find a lot of things strange, but
Thank you.
that you're very. You want to make sure I know you haven't slashed a tire. Now I put sugar in the tank, but I haven't slashed a tire. They're
I'm
both
honest.
crazy.
I'm
Thank you.
honest. But she don't need to lie and say I slashed the tire because I did not slash the tire. And
Yes, I guess it has automatic deflation.
maybe you slashed it. You talking about it. You don't want to know it was slashed
No.
because I never knew anything about a slashed tire.
Okay, I get that y'all don't like each other.
I don't know nothing about
It's not
But
that
he
it's
don't
no
even
way.
know nothing about
She
a
has
flat tire.
issues.
Well, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about her ways and what you think she's doing to manipulate your son and how you think it's going to make him turn out to be less than he could. His mother demanded that he get a DNA test on your children.
Yes.
Is that
And she
accurate?
came to the hospital and was like, when are we getting a DNA? I know where it came from, and I know all three of those belong to him.
Mr. Brown, were you concerned as to whether or not those children were yours? What do you think is the damage she's doing to your son's future?
She's not allowing him to be the man that he wants to be, the provider that he wants to be for his children. She wants him to be her child. She wants him to be a boy. He's the type of man that she's never had before, like my son is. So she's not accustomed to a man that works a real job, that wants to provide, to love his children. She's not accustomed to that. My son embraces his children with love. They love him. They cry for him. She's not accustomed to a man doing that. And that's the home that he comes from, a loving, God-fearing home. And that's the problem where she has the issue at. It got so bad one time to the fact that my son had to be in the hospital because she was driving him crazy to the point where he had to be hospitalized and she had to be banned from the hospital.
Because of her. But
Why
who
were you
was there
banned from the hospital?
before
What
he was
happened at the
rushed to
hospital that got you banned?
Oh, I was let her have it and tell her who can't come there and who can. Because I'm the boss, not her.
So when she want to be the boss, I let her do boss things.
Yeah.
You make your own
Yeah,
decision.
doing
Don't ask
real
me
big
nothing.
things.
You know,
Right,
because I'm
right,
not getting into
right.
that.
I understand, though, Ms. Ward, that his mother demanded that he get a DNA test on your children.
Yes.
Is that
And
accurate?
she came to the hospital and was like, when are we getting a DNA? We can run it however you want it. Because I know who I slept with, unlike her. But anyways, like I said, I know
a
where
mother
it
being
came from, and I know all
parent
three
to
of
the
those
child.
belong to him.
Mr. Brown, were you concerned as to whether or not those children were yours?
If someone gets pregnant from me, as she did, how I was brought up, always get DNA. I don't care if we've been together 10 years, 24/7. I don't
Always check.
always check to make sure that that's what it is. Even though I knew
Did
it
the request
was.
come from you or did it come from your mother? Because
No,
I
it
do
did.
understand that she's your mother and she wants the best from you. But at some point, you have to say, hey, these are my decisions. You need to sit down and let me handle my business. Have you done that?
Yeah. Yeah, I have. Because I really stick with what goes on in the house between me and her. Only time I do call my mama is if I really, really need her. And that's hardly never, because like you said, I'm a man, I know what I'm doing. I should know what I'm doing. And I do what I try to do what I need to do.
Okay. Well, I understand. Now that we are talking about children, I want to talk a little bit about how you raise them, because I understand that you two do not agree on the methods or the discipline that you use with the children. So that's what I want to talk about next. Ms. Ward, I wouldn't give you a nickel for what you know. You are a nice lady. You are absolutely beautiful, but you run fully and completely on your emotions, and you frighten me with that. Ms. Ward, you say that there's disagreement in the home about how to raise children. You say that he's harder on the children you don't share together than on the ones you do share together. Is that accurate? Or harder on the boys than the girls?
Yes. That's more
yeah.
like it.
Why do you say he's harder on the
Because
males?
he says that I baby my boy, my son.
A lot.
He says that I'm gonna make him soft, this and that, because if they be in the room playing and I hear one scream stop, I'm gonna run to see what he's doing and not pay attention to the girls. Now, when he come in the room, they be like, Daddy, he did this, and he automatically just take their side because it's more of them and just one of him. They lying. My son ain't bothering them. They just in there
She
playing.
think he's such a precious little angel.
Why do you
bad.
say that
But he
she
ain't doing
babies him and is gonna make him soft?
She do.
Give me an example.
For instance, the other day, he want to play. He like to fight and wrestle, and so he came home, and I'm playing with him. She coming up, leave him alone. Let him be. What you mean? He's a boy. He's supposed to be.
What,
You got all
did you
these girls in
didn't
the
want
house?
them to play, fight, and wrestle?
No, when he play fight, and my baby on the ground talking about stop, he's laughing, but he telling him to stop. He's steady punching.
Because simple fact, he want to keep going after we stop.
And then when I tell him to stop, my baby will wait for him to stop and then get up and catch him off guard.
Exactly.
So it's not like I'm telling them to, it's not like I'm upholding him. I'm actually giving him, trying to pull him away so he can get up and attack back. You can't, I'm not gonna stand there and just
Let's say this. Not your gig.
She's
I'm
not
gonna
supposed
talk
to
to
do that.
both of you ladies right now because we got a problem in our community. You may want to claim it, you may not want to claim it, but I see it all the time. Don't go in there and pamper that boy. If they want to play fight, let them play fight. You don't have to give him an advantage in the argument. This man loves that kid. He's
right.
not
I've been
hurting
raising
them.
him since he was
And
a baby.
if you
Before he
get
had
in
to
the
go.
habit of rescuing him and rescuing him and rescuing
get
him,
used to
you're
it.
gonna hobble him. You're gonna make sure that he's gonna always look for you to
help him out.
tip the balance, tip the scale
what
in his
she wants
favor.
from my son.
And we've got a whole strata of young men out there, and they all come through divorce court, one woman to another. And if the women that he's dealing with aren't good to him, he goes back home, but he doesn't have a home of his own. And that's because of that behavior.
Oh no,
right
I'm not gonna
there.
be one of those type of parents.
But you say that.
No, I know
But you
that for a
started
fact.
that.
You started
Ms.
it.
Ward, I wouldn't give you a nickel for what you know. You are a nice lady. You are absolutely beautiful. But you run fully and completely on your emotions. You don't think, you feel, and you do. And you frighten me with that. And that's the problem that you're not willing to recognize. And I think you need to do that. Mrs. Greaves, we are coming to the end of the proceeding. I'm going to ask you to have a seat, both literally and figuratively. You do need to have a seat. I understand what you need and want, but you've raised him already. Too much dipping is going to cause him more trouble. Please, have a seat. Thank you, though. Thank you. I believe in what you believe. I believe in what you want for him. I'm just saying that you've burned your bridge. Let me try to build a new one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mr. Brown, you want $1,700 to replace the engine in your car that she destroyed when she put sugar in it. Tell me about that.
Basically, that's what she did.
She put sugar in the tank.
She put sugar in the tank. Well, actually, it was water, actually.
Sugar water? Or
Yeah.
However she did
She
it.
disabled the engine.
Yeah, she basically.
How did you disable the engine?
Actually, it wasn't disabled at first because he did not drive it. In order for it to be disabled, you have to drive it to let it get down in there. It sat
She
in
knows
it
how to
sat
do
in the
this.
gas tank for a couple of days because his grandmother saw me pour it in there. So she wouldn't allow him to drive it. So they towed it, had it, the gas can cleaned. Whoever cleaned it did not clean it well because the stuff got to the engine because it broke down 2 months later. And if he would have drove it when I did it, it would have broke down right then and there. That was the motive.
But I done ran through.
I got it. I respect your struggle. You become so frightened that you will end up without a guy because they're rare and precious, that you become obsessed with the idea that he's going to go somewhere. Then you behave in a manner that's not rational. And you learn all the ratchet behaviors that are designed to secure your position. It doesn't secure your position, but you engage in them anyway because that's the script that you read off of in the community that you're in. I want you to take a look at your behaviors and those in the community in which you live and decide whether or not those are the kind of behaviors that you would like your children to do. Do you want your daughter to be as insecure and frightened and angry and running around like you do? I would think not. This brother loves you. Trust and believe in him. And if he doesn't love you enough to stay with you, if you don't have him on a short leash, he ain't worth keeping anyway. Believe that. Best of luck to both of you. I cannot give you that $1,700 because I don't have enough. I mean, I'm sure she did disable your car, but a whole lot happened in between, and I'm not sure what happened. You ain't leaving her anyway. Don't do that no more.
Yes,
do you understand what I'm saying? I don't have enough nexus. I don't have any repair bills. I don't have anything. You both said, she said it didn't happen directly because of that. I don't really know. I don't want you to exchange money. I want you to have a conversation. Good God. This matter is adjourned.
Devaria's mother always and still does need to remain in her place and mind her business. In the courtroom, she said that I was manipulating him. It's not called manipulation. It's called being a good woman because I cook, I clean, and I know how to handle my business. The judge pointed out to me that I lead with my anger and not what I'm supposed to lead with. I guess I would have to use more thinking than just acting.
I do want to make it work. But it's gonna take a lot of time. She just needs to really get it together as far as attitude and insecurities and all the things that we talked about in the courtroom.
Today on Divorce Court.
She's cheating on me because she obviously think that I did it to her.
I'm not cheating on him. I never cheated on him. Don't have no desire to cheat on him.
I need a DNA test for my son to know that he's really my son.
It really hurts that he thinks that our child is not his because it just came out the blue.
I don't believe a word she say for real, and she knows it.
He's delusional, and he keeps accusing me of doing stuff that I'm not doing.
We really don't communicate too much, and when we do, it's always a war, constantly fighting.
I want to be with Damien for the rest of my life, but if he doesn't change, I don't know where it's going to go with us.
If we can't be honest with each other, we don't have nothing anyway.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Anya Francis and Damian Williams. Ms. Francis and Mr. Williams, you have been together for 12 years, married for 6 years, but separated for the last 4 months, and you want to call this marriage a day. Ms. Francis, you have something you want from Mr. Williams, which I will discuss with you as this matter continues. But before we do that, I'm going to start with you, Ms. Francis. Why don't you tell me a little bit about why we're here, your relationship, and why we're here today in divorce court?
But we're here today because for a while now, my husband has constantly been accusing me of cheating on him to the point where it's an everyday thing. I'm tired of it. It's frustrating, and it's taking an emotional toll on me. It hurts, and it's an everyday thing. Like, I can't live effectively when I constantly have to focus on the fact that he's accusing me of cheating on him. It's had a toll on our relationship, our friendship, and everything that we've established over these 12 years.
So what is he saying? What is he accusing you of?
Practically that I've slept with everybody you can think of, everybody that I know. It's gotten ridiculous that I've had sex with multiple people, neighbors, that I've done a sex tape.
You did?
I didn't.
Mr. Williams, why do you believe your wife's been cheating on you?
Well, seeing is believing, Your Honor. And
what have you seen? Give me some examples when you've caught her.
Well, exactly, haven't caught her in the act,
exactly.
But one time, you know, I was hanging out, whatever, and my friend said, look, man, I got something to show you. And he pulled me to the side, and he said, look, I'm going to come in, I'm going to talk to you later on. And when he did, he pulls out a tablet, and he shows me in true HD my wife with another man having sex. And I'm like, I mean, they're really getting it in. And I'm like, what?
How did he get it?
Well, he knows a lot of people. Let's just put it that way. And I'm glad that I know him. I'm glad that I know him. But, you know,
did you look at the tape? You looked at the tape?
I've looked at it, I've visualized, I've went through it 3, 4, 5 times. I mean, it's in my head.
He has a tape of you having sex.
Your Honor,
well, this is the first time I've heard about
I have it right now.
a friend.
I have it right now.
Showing him. This is the first time I've even heard about a friend showing him anything. From when
have you seen the tape?
I've seen it, but he waited till my father died this year. He waited till 2 days after my father died and brought this allegation. I thought it was a joke, honestly.
Well, I felt like I died too.
No, it's not me. I've never cheated on this man, period.
You
We've been
have the
together
tape?
for 12
I have
years.
the video.
And it doesn't look like me.
Look like you. Your Honor, before I do this, I want you to keep in mind 2 key points.
Okay.
First of all, the first thing is very explicit, as you already know. Second of all, take a mental note. First thing, the hair. Second, the complexion, the facialness.
First of all, it's not me. The
what I
complexion
want you
is
to
off.
do-
We might be the same
what I would
body
like you to
weight,
do
and
is
they both have natural hair. But I have tattoos that you will be able to see on there. I'm very light. You will be able to see my veins in my legs. And the woman is clearly older than me to the point where I've actually screenshotted her face to show him that it's not
That
me.
is
And
not
he's
you.
still
Your
stuck on the
Honor,
fact that it's
Your
me.
Honor, screenshot and actual motion. It's two totally different. So, wait a minute, Your Honor, as you press play, I want you to just keep looking back and forth. Like,
No, I'm
Keep
gonna do my
looking.
job. I'm gonna do my job.
just keep looking. Do that mental facial recognition. Just keep looking.
And he'll keep saying, I know my wife, but obviously you don't, because that is not me.
Well, I should know after 12 years.
At all. No.
Arched eyebrows. Eyebrows. Remember
Not
the
at
fro.
all.
Look at her hair. Look up. Look up. Look up.
But when this video even came out, my hair was way shorter than hers even is.
It grows. It's hair.
That's not my complexion. And
Really?
I have visible tattoos on my arms, on my legs. You will be able to see it.
Of course, that's what makeup for too. Like,
But it's in his head.
I don't know if it's her or not.
oh, it is. Joe, take a look.
I saw a lot of stuff, but her face
How
wasn't
about-
one of them, so I don't know.
Thank you.
About another one.
And everybody's told him this. He showed this video to my mother, my friends. It's embarrassing. Like
No.
my sister and
I
everybody
need
told him
some
it's not me.
combat pay.
First of all, they all involved too.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Other than the tape,
That's
whether or
just
not it's her,
one
we
of
don't
5.
know. But other than that, why do you keep accusing her of cheating? What other things has she done that would lead me to believe she's cheating?
For example, one time, Your Honor, we're around the neighborhood, and it's a guy I know that's up the street. She tells me that she's going to a friend's house, which is clear across town. I go up the street, I see the vehicle in front of the friend's house. So I go, I call, hey, what's up, what you doing, y'all? She's giving me the whole story like she's over there, but I clearly see that she's elsewhere. No. So when I do confront her, and I'm hoping that she'll just come out or, tell me the truth. She just denies it.
Because
she
it's a
just straight
lie.
denies it. Same
You've
as she
never
doing
cheated
this.
on him?
Never in 12
Never,
years.
not in 12 years. Never, not one time.
Never. I even told him I take a lie
You
detector
going-
test, anything that it takes to prove
But
to him.
You going
but he
down
doesn't
with
get it.
gasoline
It's in
thongs
his
on.
head.
I'm telling
Okay,
you.
my
It's
question
He's
is this.
delusional.
My
No
question is
redemption.
this. I understand you have
Playing my
children,
emotions, Smoke.
and you believe that one of the kids isn't yours.
He does.
Why do you believe that one of the kids isn't yours?
One kid looks like me, the other kid looks nothing like me. It's not no type of features whatsoever.
Yes, it
I mean,
is.
down to an eyelash, a nose hair, a toenail, nothing.
But first of all, before we even had this child, I told him that my genes were very strong. I look nothing like my mother, everything like my father.
Oh, yeah.
So I already knew that because we had very strong genes in that family. But everybody says that he's 50-50 to the point where when we were in the hospital with the baby, the nurses knew that he was the father because the baby looked just like him.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
actually
Your Honor,
came
let
up
me-
to him and
let
said
me-
that.
No. Here's the thing I have to say. I just always find it tremendously arrogant that people will look at me, I don't see me in them, so it can't be mine. My youngest child is lighter than both me and my husband. You can't go by that. You just can't go by, oh, stop it. Now I want to talk about finances, because I think we've talked about this as long as we can. Now I want to talk about your finances and why it's so much trouble at your house.
You sit there and say, well, I'm getting a tax refund, whatever. I'm gonna give you $1,000.
No.
$1,000 turns into $10 or $15, or increments of 15, 20. So I'm sitting there like, really though?
Ms. Francis, why don't you tell me why you think finances is destroying your marriage?
He's always had a problem with money, period. Like, like taxes. He thinks I should give him a certain amount of money when I was going to school, getting school refund checks. And it's like, I have to pay back that money. I'm the one that's going to school. I'm the one that's getting a degree. I have to pay it back. I don't mind doing for you because I have given him money. But he's never appreciative, and he's never happy at all with what I give him. If I give him $300 per se, he'll give it back, and then think that I'm going to beg him to give him money, and it's not going to be like that. Like, you take what I give you, and you be appreciative for it. Like,
Mr. Williams, what do you have to say about that?
She's the type, first of all, when it comes down to finances or what have you, since our child has been born, she put me on child support.
Then have when we had to take care of him, and we both agreed.
I'm talking, and when we had got married, till this day, I'm still on child support.
But I paid to take him off of child support.
So
he didn't show up for court.
So I said, well, you faithfully keep the money.
And you
get your fro
give you
done.
the money. I give him the money.
And then she would sit there and tell me, well, hey.
He still doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
She would sit there and say, well, I'm getting a tax refund, whatever. I'm gonna give you $1,000.
No.
$1,000 turns into $10 or $15, or increments of 15, 20. So I'm sitting there like, really though? But I can go to the store and a pack of cigarettes turns into $60, $70 because I done bought pizza,
That's what he
maybe a
chose
half
to buy.
a steak sub or something. Like, I'm treating you. I always come through on what I say. If I say I'm going to do this for you or what have you, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give it to you. She does the complete opposite. The only thing I look at is that you're only giving me back my own money.
That's a lie.
First of all, who's married and still pay child support?
You, because you didn't show up to court.
So then when I
then
when I tell her, well, look, that's because you done changed everything.
I didn't do anything.
Okay,
That's a lie.
Ms. Francis, you say Mr. Williams is controlling. Why do you say that?
He tries to control every situation. Everything has to be about him. I graduated from college. He makes up this fake argument and leaves, knowing that I would be distraught if he didn't go to my graduation. Long story short, we had to go chase him down. I wound up being late to my graduation. Nobody seen me walk across the stage because he wanted to have a hissy fit and control the whole situation. He controls. He wants to.
What did he want to control? I don't understand.
He wanted it to be about him. Everything had to be about him, and because the spotlight was on me and he didn't have anything to do with it, he left and knew that I was going to be upset about the whole.
You.
Yes,
Mr. Williams, what do you say happened at her graduation?
She was late as usual
because
over prepping herself. My whole thing is that everyone's sitting there saying, "Come on, come on, come on." Then when she gets there, and we finally get there, she's upset because we don't get to see her walk across the stage. Everybody else done already graduated, took pictures and smiled. Did
they miss you because you were late?
We were late because he decided that he was going to leave and walk from one side of town to the other because he was upset, and we had to go all the way across town and pick him up.
Did that happen? Did you walk off?
I don't know what she's talking about.
Yes, you did.
A bunch of add-ons.
Yes, you did.
Okay, I got you. Now I want to talk about the fact that you believe he's disrespectful and how that is injuring your marriage.
One day he comes to the job and I'm not at my register. I'm a cashier. He says that I'm in the bathroom having sex with another man while I'm helping the customer with cameras everywhere and everything else.
Mr. Williams, did you think she was sleeping with somebody at her job in the bathroom on break? You say he's disrespectful and controlling. You say he tries to control what goes on at your job. Explain that to me.
One day he comes to the job and I'm not at my register. I'm a cashier. I'm helping a customer. He says that I'm in the bathroom having sex with another man while I'm helping a customer. I finally come back because he sees another guy walk past after I came back to my register. All of a sudden, I was sleeping with somebody in the bathroom at my job with cameras everywhere and everything else.
Mr. Williams, did you think she was sleeping with somebody at her job in the bathroom on break?
No, Your Honor, no.
Yes.
What it is, Your Honor.
Tell me what you thought.
I work at the job.
Exactly. That's what makes it all the more worse.
So I'm in one part of the
No, you were
department.
outside.
She's in another part. But it's because of that and
I
everything
had no
else.
reason to cheat.
Your Honor.
Not one time.
Your
And
Honor.
the thing is,
Hang on. Never, not one time.
Never.
In the 12 years you've been together,
no.
you've never
It's
slept with
nothing
anybody else.
another man can do for me, period. Like, other than the craziness that's going on and the accusations, he's actually a good person. Like, he came in my life, he helped me with so many things that I was going through, my insecurities, everything. I give him that. But I don't have a reason to be with another man. If I break up with this man today or tomorrow, I still don't need another man. That's not what I'm looking for.
Mr. Williams, let me ask you this. What is it, why do you think, did she sleep around a lot before you got married?
No.
What brings you to?
It's not what I think. It's what I know.
He knows everything.
I was sitting outside one day of her mother's house. I'm sitting there waiting for her. She's supposed to be in the mother's house.
And I was.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, the house is splitting up into two. So it's a neighbor that actually lives upstairs. So I'm sitting there and I'm sitting on the porch and I'm waiting. I'm constantly waiting, but I keep hearing her voice. The window's open, so she's loud by nature. So I'm hearing her upstairs talking to the guy. So I'm sitting there. I said,
What were they saying?
They were just like talking, like, hey, this, that. They was in a conversation. My thing is that I knew and heard my wife's voice, and I know that she wasn't downstairs.
You don't
She
know
was
that.
upstairs. So
But why
what
is that
happens?
a
So what
cheat?
happens? No. So what happens is I get tired of waiting. I go ahead, hit the bell. Mom comes to the door in the robe.
And
But
I
no
come right
Anye.
through my mother's
So no
door.
Anye. So then I look up. She's coming from upstairs, coming down, exhausted, like she done ran 2 track meets.
And might I add you, he was partying then too.
So I'm sitting there. So I sit there and I say, "Are you serious?"
Distorted.
I said, "Are you serious?" So the mama like just like shaking her head, like.
My mother's told him several times that I never have been
All
upstairs.
right, I got it. It's never going to make any more sense to
It's
me.
not.
than it does now.
And that's why I'm done with it.
My point is
Because I
she
can't
can
deal
sit
with
there
this.
and tell me blue in the face. Look, the sky is purple and it has pink colors. It's not.
I got you, Mr. Williams. I got it. You want $120 from him, Mrs. Williams, after all these years. What's that $120 about?
This right here.
What happened?
He got upset and he dropped my phone on the concrete and then tried to say it was an accident. He had broke the same phone I had before this that he bought. So I went and bought my own phone, so he didn't have a reason to touch it because he breaks everything. I mean, either takes everything or breaks everything. And here we go, and he decided to take this and break it. Oh, it was an accident, supposedly. But
Mr.
it
Williams,
wasn't.
what happened with the phone?
A lot of times, I'm gonna say maybe out of all the times or whatever that we done had this phone situation, they was replaced. And I'm gonna say one time it was like I actually got mad, but the other times it was like it was really.
Well, we're talking
accidental.
about this phone right here.
That
What
was
happened to this phone?
accidental.
That was accidental.
That was accidental.
So you own up to it when you do it. But you just didn't do it that time.
Hey, I have to live. I gotta, show her, like, you gotta be honest, one way or another. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna just sit there and talk to you and tell you like, if I did it, I did it. That was accidental.
And
of
if
course.
I did it, I did it. And if I didn't, I didn't. So that's what you need to get through your head.
Okay.
But you don't. And you don't.
So, hey, Mr. Williams, are you interested in whether or not this baby is yours?
Absolutely.
Do you really believe it's not yours?
I do. Biologically, I don't
let me
believe
say
it.
this. You're just as wrong about the baby as you're as wrong about everything else. Nothing that you've said here has made sense. This child is yours.
Hello.
This is your kid.
That's what's up.
99.9999999. This is your child. And as bizarre and as convinced as you were that kid wasn't yours is the same kind of logic and reasoning that goes into everything else that you deal with it. I heard her voice and she was running. Doesn't make any sense. It really does. If I were you, keep stepping, because people who are stuck on this kind of hamster wheel of thought usually never get off. And he will beat you to death with it if you don't walk away from it. For my own sanity, Mr. Williams, if I were you, I'd go to see somebody and have them look into what's going on up there. I want to make sure that you know that you got stuck on something that's not real and you can't get off. And it cost you your marriage. I don't want it to cost you your relationship with your child or to cost you an ability to have a rational, sane relationship with anybody else. Because the things that you told me in here make no sense at all. I mean, at all.
You just gotta look.
So as wrong as you were about that child, you're wrong about the rest of it because it makes no sense at all. I believe he dropped a phone on purpose, $120 in favor of Miss Francis.
Thank you. This marriage has been over for a while now. I have no regrets at all. I did everything I possibly and humanly can do, and I'm just out of answers. There's nothing else to do because he's gonna keep thinking the same way he does.
At the end of the day, that's what it is. She go her way, and I'll go my way. I know what's going on. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Today on Divorce Court.
Dontavious, I'm here to tell you today that I'm not here to be your mother. I'm not here to raise you. I'm here to be your wife and your partner.
When Justine goes to her father over me for finances, it makes me feel less than a man.
I always come to my daddy before I come to him with anything.
I feel like I'm the head of the household when she wants me to be the head of the household.
I am older than him, and I have more experience in life than him. I tend to take over.
I can't be with her in 5 years if she continues this behavior.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Justine Patterson and Dontavious Patterson. The two of you have been together for 5 years and married for 5 years. You don't have any children together. Your marriage is in trouble, so you've come to me for advice. Mrs. Patterson, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me what is happening in your household?
Well, I just want to start off by saying Dontavious and I, we've been together for we've been married for 5 years. But we got married after just knowing each other 3 weeks. And
what happened in those 3 weeks?
Well, Your Honor, he swept me off my feet. I met him at a pizza joint, and when I seen him, oh Dios mío, he was fine. I loved everything about him. He was tall, he was handsome, you know, he had a kind soul. I loved everything about him.
Mr. Patterson, what did you see in her in 3 weeks that made you say, I do?
Oh, well, you know, there's an age difference, about 6 or 7 year age difference. So, you know, she kind of put that old school thing on my fell in love.
She whipped it on you, yeah. You got to whip the food and everything.
I ain't been the same since.
I got it. Okay, Ms. Patterson, bring me up to speed.
Okay, Your Honor. Let me just tell you a little bit about, I'm not from here. I'm originally from Panama. Mm-hmm. And Spanish is my first language. I learned English about 17 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I met Dontavious. I fell heads over heels for him. I have 2 children. He was great with them. I do. I have a boy and a girl. And pretty much, like I said, we fell in love with him. And it just started going downhill once, we've been together, like I said, 5 years.
Right.
And then the age difference.
It's bothersome. So he was 20 when you married him?
He was 19 when I married him.
He was 19 when you married him?
He was 19 and I was 26.
He was 26. Mr. Patterson, what do you think the problem is?
Me personally, my only problem with my wife is, she's too dependent on her father. I don't really have a chance to, do what I want to do for her. I like to surprise her a lot. Mm-hmm. And, it's been several different occasions in which I've tried to surprise her. And she'll think I've forgotten about a holiday or something. And one year, I spent 2-3 months on saving money on putting down payments on the necklace for her. And down to my last payment, her dad turned around and bought the necklace in one day. You know what I'm saying? And
Hang on. Ooh, already. Does her father have a lot of money and is able to Bigfoot it? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he's a big dog and everything, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Every
not
situation.
the case, Your Honor.
You know what I'm saying? And he loved me. He got a lot of respect for me. I got a lot of respect for him. But, you know, when it comes to her, anytime she open her mouth, he there for her. He
gives her whatever she wants and doesn't allow you to
salute that,
do
but I like to be there for my wife, too, you know what I'm saying? And I like to be there first, and I just want to be that backbone, you know what I'm saying?
Mrs. Patterson, your thoughts on that?
Let me just say about the whole necklace thing. Judge, I'm not from here. Like I said it before, I'm from Panama. My first language is Spanish. So my culture is totally different from the culture here. I'm close to my parents, especially my dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where I come from, we don't believe that the moment you turn 18, you're kicked out or you're just grown or you're on your own or you have to figure it out on your own. That doesn't, I wasn't raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
My dad, and as far as like the jewelry, it was a necklace that I wanted from my country. I didn't tell my dad, just like I told him. I'm like, oh my God, there's this lady who's from my country. We have this yearly event. She was bringing different designs, and I told my dad about it. Well, we didn't know that he was gonna get it.
So it just happenstance. I mean, he wasn't trying to outdo you.
He wasn't.
He just happened to get there first.
See, it's not that he's ever trying to outdo me.
But he always does.
He always does, though. And she got to be giving him some type of call. You know what I'm saying? You know, it been several occasions I tried to surprise her for her birthday. I act like I've forgotten about her all the way up to the last minute. And, you know, some kind of way she'll backdoor me and call him and he make everything him, you know what I'm saying? And I already have something.
Your culture notwithstanding, do you understand your husband has to feel like he's
I feel like I'm not needed.
Your dude, and that that he does for you, and that's your obligation to make him feel that way?
And it is, and I'm working on that, and that's the problem that we're having. But he just want me to cut, like, I don't know what he...
Not to mention, she's the only woman I've ever done anything for, ever even thought to do anything for.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I just felt that should be special.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't do for me and my children, because he doesn't have any children, and he's 100% dedicated to my daughter. I'll give an example to, my daughter just got her progress report on last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter had all A's, 1 B, and thanks to him, because he's dedicated to her. His education her education is everything to him. He's dedicated every day. But he is. He's 100%.
So what did he do? What did he do? Good. Finish the story.
But the problem here is I don't want him to feel like he's not a man. It's just that my dad has always been there. And it's not that he's not man enough or he's not important in my life. He is. But my dad has always been there.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do...
Here's the thing. When you get married, you make decisions about how you're going to behave. And you have to behave in a manner that's okay with your man.
And you handling the situation.
And you have to handle things differently.
Mm-hmm.
And it might mean I have to break a habit here or there in order to accommodate who we are.
I'm trying, but see, when I try to communicate...
Ain't no try, there's either do or not do. Pick up the phone or don't pick up the phone. If you're grown enough to get married, you just do.
One of his good friends is like a brother to him. He just found out that he's having another child. This is his 3rd child. And so there's times in this relationship, lately I'm starting to feel like he's a bit resentful.
My understanding is, on that note, that you do want to start to have a family with
I
him
definitely
now.
want to
And
have a family.
she's not ready. Mrs. Patterson, you say that you became a mother very young, and that, you believe, has impacted a great deal how you conduct your life now. Why don't you tell me the story of what happened and how you believe it's still present today in your life?
Well, I came to this country when I was 14 years old. I'm actually the first one in my family to have a baby out of wedlock. My parents had been married for 39 years. I had my son when I was 17. And even though I had him at 17, I had a lot of support. A lot of support with his family, my family. But it devastated my parents. I just put my whole family in a whole different era. And they just had to go, flow with it. When we first got here. So my family means a lot to me. Dontavis grew up in a household where he didn't have both of his parents. He only had his mother. And so when he seen the relationship that hang on. Let's let Mr. Patterson speak for himself.
Mr. Patterson, when you stepped into the role as stepfather at 19, which is very, very deep, were you concerned about it? Was it difficult for you? And how do you think you've done?
I think I've been doing a great job. It's not difficult. The only difficult part is when you start to feel like you're not being appreciated for it. You know what I'm saying? But
what makes you think you're not appreciated for it?
You know, I mean, I think that just comes with being a step parent, period. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can spend all the time in the world and do everything that you could possibly do. But then, you know, when that little kid pick up that phone and call the real pops, you know, it kind of make you feel some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess that's just the reality of it, but I'm growing into it, you know. And
were you at all hesitant to take on a woman who had 2 children? You were just 19.
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. My stepfather raised me, you know. So I never looked at them no different than my real children because I wasn't looked at any different. You know what I'm saying? I don't treat them like...
Not that they're different because they're stepchildren, and I appreciate that, I do. But you were so young to take on that responsibility. That did not frighten you at all?
Nah, not at all. You know, I've always been like a little ahead of myself mentally. You know what I'm saying?
More mature?
Yeah, a lot more mature, you know. So all the clubbing and playing around, you know, I kind of skipped that in my 20s anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
so
not
my
into
understanding is, on that note, that you do want to start to have a family with her now.
I definitely want to have a family.
And she's not ready.
Well, you know, we attempted to once before her body wasn't ready for a child.
Right.
Therefore, we really haven't worked on it again.
But he's talked about it. He's talked about how he's disappointed because one of his good friends is like a brother to him. He just found out that he's having another child. This is his 3rd child. And so there's times in this relationship, lately I'm starting to feel like he's a bit resentful.
So the fact that you don't have a baby
together. At the fact that, because he keeps saying little things like, you know, I'm 25, I don't have any children, I must not be good enough, and everyone around him is having children. But what I don't want to do is bring another human being to this world and we're having little minor...
When you don't have it totally together.
We don't have it all together. It wouldn't be fair to the child.
I feel like we're never going to be totally just perfect, you know what I'm saying? With the kid or without the kid, you know what I'm saying? We've been struggling 5 years together. I don't feel like a kid gonna, you know what I'm saying, do no justice or do no worse.
But we got to work on the communication.
And I'm going to get to that communication issue and why it is such an issue.
I'm like a jackrabbit right now, and I be wanting it. Yeah. I be wanting it when I want it, and, you know, she'll give it to me when she feel like getting it to me, when she feel like getting it to me.
But then respect the fact that you have a higher drive and a need at this juncture in your life.
He's wanting it 3-4 times a day. Who has the time?
Mr. Patterson, you said you grew up in a hood culture where the women run over the men.
Correct.
And you don't want that happening to you. Why don't you tell me what you saw as a child and what you're trying to stay away from?
Well, my mother is a very, very, very dominant woman, and my stepfather is a very stand-up, phenomenal guy. Therefore, he lets her have her way with almost anything. But from my point of view, I really can't just let my wife have her way with everything because I'm built a little different, and I like to speak my mind and stand on what I believe in, you know. And sometimes the tone of her voice, it's not even what she says. Sometimes it's just the tone of her voice when she talks to me as if I'm her child. You know what I'm saying? I can't interpret it the right way.
But eso no es siempre así. Eso no es siempre así. Listen, it's just the fact that he's always comparing this relationship he's always comparing me to his mother. I am not his mother, and he is not his stepfather. The kind of issues that we have, he's always incorporating.
Well, what do you think your communication problems are? What do you think the issue is?
I'm just loud. I'm loud. That's it. You know, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, and it's just that. It's nothing more, nothing less. And so for him...
So you think the entirety of the communication problem is he's misinterpreting your cultural expression as anger or dominance?
Right. Or controlling. And that's not even the case.
That's exactly how I'm taking it. You know what I'm saying? And like right now, you know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, well, let me try it a different way, she's just like, well, this me. And then what it gonna be?
Let me say something to you, Mrs. Patterson. This is me is never an appropriate response to a problem. This is me. Now, not if you want to stay married. If you want to be single, you can this is me all day long if you want to. But no, when you're married, you can't this is me. Now, who says you're having intimacy issues?
I'm 25 years old right now. You know what I'm saying? She 31. My sex drive like a jackrabbit right now, and I be wanting it.
Yeah.
I be wanting it when I want it, and you know she'll give it to me when she feel like getting it to me. When she feel like getting it
But
to me,
then
I'm like,
respect the fact that you have a higher drive and a need at this juncture in your life. Mrs. Patterson, your response to that would be?
Well, I'm not saying that I don't want to have sex. I said let's schedule. Not even, and here's why. I have a busy, not even schedule. But like if we could get together and we could figure out like, okay, on these days, because not only do I have to take care of the children, I still have a full schedule. Like I'm a paralegal and I work with different doctors. I have a lot going on. And so, yeah, while he's thinking about that, my mind is on on something totally different. Not somebody, but something else. So like, I'm not saying that I don't want to and my sex drive is not as high as his, but we have other things more important than
being a paralegal is keeping you from having sex.
No. Taking care of my children as much as he wants it, Your Honor. He's wanting it 3-4 times a day. Who has the time?
It's more so of, okay, she may want it early in the morning. I want it all the time. But if she turn me down 3-4 times and then she come at me all, wanting it, I'm gonna turn her down. Then that just starts a little thing when both of us just like,
back and forth. Who's gonna be the one that have their needs met on their schedule?
Exactly.
And your egos get involved.
And every time I'm turning
silly.
her down, I'm really wanting it, but I have to turn her down just to let her know. You know what I'm saying?
That's not how to handle it. It isn't. But I'm gonna try to address something or other. I don't think I'm gonna get very far, but I'm gonna do it anyway. There's one thing I could get him to give you that would make this better for you. What would it be, Mrs. Patterson? Just one.
Communication.
Communication.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel you communicate well with him, or you feel he's not receptive to what you have to say? You feel you're not heard? In what manner do you need help?
Well, I say both ways. I feel like I'm not heard, and he feels like he's not heard or he's not needed. And basically, if we can get our communication down pat, I think we'll be okay.
Okay, Mr. Patterson, if it was one thing I could get her to give you, what would it be?
Them goodies. I just want it when I want it. That's all, because I'm a good man to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I ain't nothing but 25 years old.
Right.
And I be holding her down. And I feel like I be holding her down.
Oh, you do?
You know what I'm saying? So
No
I
question
feel like
about
the
it.
little thing that I do ask for, let me get that when I want that. You know what I'm saying? I'm loyal. You know what I'm saying?
Mrs. Patterson, let me tell you something. You found some young thing that you liked, and you wrapped him up. And this is who he is. He has come across as strong, as trustworthy, as faithful, as capable, as all man, and you need to let the brother have some more sex. Because it can't be about... He's 25. You know what I'm saying? He's 25. And that's what that is. And it can't be just about when you want it. It's like, this brother, woo! And it's that kind of time in his life. And when you get somebody young or get somebody older, you have to take that into account in how you deal with them. You're going to fool around and lose them. And it's not like it's going to, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you just have to be, they're not about being a paralegal to keep you from having sex. I don't know what that isn't either. Because I wasn't a para, I was illegal. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Doesn't have anything to do with it. It's a practical thing. It's a practical matter that you have to take care of that. And the first part of communication is the ability to listen. I don't think you're good with that.
That's true.
And I think that if you want to have better communication, you have to start with better hearing and better listening. And if you can't do that, you're never going to get anywhere. And I'm talking to you because I think Mr. Patterson is showing up grown and mature and on point, and you're the one who's a little weak. And I think you need to step up your game. Period. End of story. Thank you for being the man that you are.
Thank you.
Make sure you're worthy of him. This matter is adjourned.
I feel like if he was able to communicate a little bit more effectively with me, with telling me exactly what's wrong with him instead of having me figure it out, or the whole sexual thing, us talking about it, I think that will help too.
I just hope we can move forward from here, and we do not have to move forward with a divorce.
Today on Divorce Court.
Trevor has a really bad anger problem. He's like 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds.
I feel like she's always looking for male attention, and I guess mine isn't enough.
I feel like his jealousy has gotten out of hand because he's had me download GPS apps to my phone to follow me.
Andrea, you need to quit dressing like an escort. You're a mom. Grow up.
I don't feel like it's an issue, the money I spend when it's my money, because it's my money.
Andrea, we don't have $1,000 to spend on hair. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I love him more than anything in the world, but if he can't stay sober and be an equal partner with me in the relationship, then I can't continue trying.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Andrea Ketterling and Trevor Ketterling. Mr. and Mrs. Ketterling, you have been married for 9 months, but you've been together for 2.5 years. You're already in trouble. You've come here to see if I could get a second set of eyes on it. You have no children together, but each of you have some children from previous relationships. Mrs. Ketterling, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what's gone wrong in this 9 months.
Well, we've had a lot of different issues. There's been substance abuse, financial matters, a lot of trust and jealousy issues and anger issues. In my background, I used to be an escort. Mm-hmm. It was before him and I had gotten together.
Right.
But our community kind of knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
It happened to be on the news.
Right.
So... Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Most don't. And that's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. So a lot of his friends know about it and have said things to him, which I can see how that can make it a little harder for him to trust me. But yeah, so I can't really, if I ever leave the house without him, it's, what are you doing? Where are you at? I have to video call him from wherever I am just to prove where I am.
Every time?
About every time, yeah. It's hard.
Tell me the most outrageous jealousy story that you have when he got the most upset about something that wasn't really going on.
He was being really paranoid, so he had me download a GPS tracker app to my phone so he could, watch my every movement. It would even tell him, if my phone was charged. It would notify him if I was at school or at home.
He got notifications.
Yeah.
As to your... Mr. Ketterling, is that accurate?
That is accurate, Your Honor. It was completely a voluntary thing. I did ask if we could do that. This was after a series of events. There was a reason that there wasn't trust there.
Tell me what the reason was. What was the event?
Messages to other guys that had been found, pictures that were sent to people. There was, and on top of that, obviously, the stuff I'd heard from people around town that's known. But there was reasons, and on top of that, her jealousy is intense. It became where I feel like I started to be jealous because she was. So, for instance, I had to live under such strict rule of what I was doing. If I walked in a store and I saw a girl sitting there, if I wasn't looking at the floor, I was flirting.
You're in trouble.
Yeah. And I feel like she was just jealous like that because I think she was the one being shady.
Given her history that she was engaged in being an escort, does that inform your jealousy at all? Do you throw it up at her? Do you still wonder about it? Does it make you angry?
We tried to, start with a clean slate. I knew about it and said, you know what, I can work with this. I've had my set of issues too. I don't want to judge you by what's happened in the past. But yeah, there's always that still looming in your head. It definitely is a thought that I have.
Mrs. Ketterling, does he ever bring that up when you're having arguments or discussion about other things? Does your past come up as a weapon?
Yeah. If I'm not telling him what I'm doing, he'll text me a million times, just calling me a bunch of names.
Like what kind of names?
The B word, the W word, the C word, just any word, really.
Any word that's denigrating to a woman he uses. Now, Mr. Ketterling, you say that's not true? I mean,
I'm not going to say I'm perfect. You know, I have called her names before. I do not send her messages ever calling her the W or anything like that. I've used the B a lot. W has came up in heated fights. I don't just send her messages because she's not there about that. If I said it, there was at least a reason, and that doesn't justify the language. I'm just saying I wouldn't just text her because I didn't know where she was right then, call her names like that.
Does it bother you when your friends talk to you about her past?
Absolutely. And most of the time, I think they're doing it with good intentions, you know, and unfortunately, we live in a small enough community.
What good intentions? What are they trying to do?
I mean, good intentions in the way of, like, not saying that kind of stuff. It's sometimes they won't even say it directly. Like, I'll bring up that that's who I'm with, and they're all, oh, and you can see the look like we know what she's about, or, you know, that was...
When that happens, what do you do?
You know, if it's not them being disrespectful, I take it for what it is. You know, it just depends, I guess, on the level they're talking to me about.
What it is.
What do you think he does?
He just sits there. He never defends me in it. He just sits there.
See, Mr. Kettle, let me tell you something. If you take it for what it is, it means you haven't put a period on it in your mind.
Right.
And because if you're like, this is my woman, and I don't care what she did, hey, I'll talk about who she was. That's who you defend, and that means you're really good with it. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, I know she's a bit of a hoe. Yeah, you know what I mean. That means you're still working with it and cowering to it. But if you're beyond it, it's like that was her past. That was who she was. You defend her. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
When you say she's outrageously jealous, tell me the worst thing that she's ever done. You said about, you know, you can't look around in a store.
I got an example, Your Honor. There was a time, okay, for instance, we were at a drive-through restaurant, okay? We're ordering something. There was a comment made about, let's say, the color of a taco and how that could relate to a woman's anatomy. It was a kind of inappropriate joke that somehow started that they said to me through the speaker, and I kind of laughed. You know, we joked about it, whatever. As we're pulling up, she's like, why don't you get her number? You know, like I was flirting through a speaker with something I didn't know who was. You know, I didn't know who I was talking to. It was a girl's voice, so I was cheating. She said, get her number. Or if I walk into a grocery store, you know, and I'm not staring at the floor, you know, I'm in trouble. Like, you know, you're staring at her, why don't you just go get her number? You know, excessive jealousy. And I've always felt like if I have to live under such intense, jealous rules, so do you. And that's where my crazy, I think, kind of came from and stuff.
Okay, Ms. Ketterling, are you overly jealous? Do you put those kind of restrictions on him?
Yes, I do.
And where does that come from?
It's embarrassing to me if we're ordering food and he's sitting there talking about pink tacos to the speaker with some girl in the drive-thru. Like, that's embarrassing to me.
Your Honor,
like,
I didn't initiate that.
We're ordering food. Why do you need to talk like that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask you this. If she was ordering some hot dogs, the other guy on the things would start having a conversation with double entendres about that hot dog. That'd bother you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
So it's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. I don't know why nobody ever figures that out. But it's the same thing. I understand that jealousy isn't the only issue. We've got issues of sobriety, anger, and drinking, and that's what I want to turn to now.
He'll take anything I say, like, out of context and freak out. Like, he's the Hulk in 0 to 100, just, like, fast. And there's nothing I can do to defuse the situation.
Mrs. Ketterling, you say Mr. Ketterling drinks a lot, and that is affecting your relationship. Why don't you tell me why that is?
It's not that he drinks a lot, it's that when he drinks, he gets angry.
Okay. Mr. Ketterling, are you a grumpy drunk?
You know, Your Honor, I am guilty of that at times, yeah. I do have short patience when I'm drinking. Not like violent kind of anger, but yeah, I can be mean. I can be more make rude jokes or yeah. I come off in ways that I guess I don't realize I'm doing if I'm drinking.
Tell me what is the most distressing story you have that demonstrates his anger while drinking.
He'll take anything I say, like, out of context and freak out. Like, he's the Hulk in 0 to 100, just, like, fast. And there's nothing I can do to defuse the situation besides, you know, you're right, I'm sorry. It's just, I mean, he gets mad and throws stuff, breaks stuff.
Mr. Ketterling, do you find that distressing that you engage in that kind of conduct when you're drunk?
Your Honor, it does. So I've been sober for 6 months. I just want to bring up, for starters, You know, there's a long history of progression from high school and on, and it led to a lot heavier things than just drinking even. I admittedly have had a lot of substance abuse and drinking problems, and so I would prefer. I guess I don't feel like it's fair that it still gets thrown in my face because I know that I'm not the greatest person when I'm using, drinking, any of that. I'm not the same person I even am right now, and so I don't feel like now that's relevant to our relationship.
Okay, I got you. Has he been sober for 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been exuberant about that?
I try to be happy. It's just in the past there's been so many times that it's.
Yeah, no, I know
mean?
because it's difficult to live with an addict. Addicts are they're wholly different people. And when someone does a run at sobriety, you cheer like you've lost your mind because the risk of relapse is always there. If you live in the fear of it instead of in the hope and the joy of it, then you're going to exacerbate the opportunity to relapse. You with me? You know, sober again today, baby, loving that. You know, just whatever you got to do you've got to be, and he got to bring joy to his life while he's sober. So sober is happy. You know what I mean? You can't, and I understand you've had a lot happen to you and you got your defenses up and you got to understand that about a lot has happened. And you know, when a woman has been into escorting or prostitution or wherever she's been in, that label, that scarlet A sticks to her. And people never forgive her. Once you've gone down that road, a lot of times girls don't just say, hey, let me go be a prostitute. Stuff happens to people, and they do that as a last resort. You don't get mad at the Johns, you're still mad at her. You don't get mad at the person who did whatever to her that sent her in that direction, and that happened, right? You get mad at her because she fell. She's the most vulnerable person in the situation, and you stay mad about it. Because that defines her. It's a societal thing. I know I've gone off track, but I don't care. You want her to applaud your 6 months of sobriety? You need to applaud her how many years of she hasn't been an escort anymore and defend her to her friends and be about who she is and not the victim that she used to be. You with me on that one? So now let's talk about money.
There was a time that we were broke. We had like nothing, and she was getting hair extensions. And after the fact, I was told that she spent $300 or $400 on it, and come to find out she'd lied and paid $1,000
for hair.
And we couldn't eat the next week. I mean, we weren't surviving.
Who wants to tell me about your financial circumstances and why it's a problem?
Your Honor, I got a problem we can talk about. It's been the biggest problem we've had is just irresponsible spending. You know, for instance, we got like $1,500 to live off of. She could spend $1,200 of it in beauty stuff. There was a time that we were broke. We had like nothing, and she was getting hair extensions. And I got a bogus story. After the fact, I was told that she spent $300 or $400 on it, and come to find out she'd lied and paid $1,000 for
hair.
And we couldn't eat the next week. I mean, we weren't surviving. You know, but she had hair.
Yeah.
You know.
So yeah,
it's good.
You're starving, but you're looking good while you're doing it.
Right.
Mrs. Ketterling, do you spend money on your cosmetic situation before the basic bills are handled?
Okay, so during this time, I had my own money, and I paid what bills we had. While he was off running and gunning, do whatever he wanted to do, I still had to sit at home and make sure everything was taken care of. So yeah, I had my own money from school and I got myself hair extensions. Yes, I lied to him about how much it cost because I didn't want to sit there and fight about it. And why should I when it's my money?
Yeah, and I get that it's your money, but is your household, were your household bills covered before you went out and did that with your money?
At that time, yes.
Are you sure?
There's been plenty of other times when no, but at that time, when I spent that big amount, yes.
Yeah.
The next month, we didn't have money to pay for your car. Okay, we couldn't pay for your car because you had hair.
That was the next month. I wasn't worried.
Well, it was within a month, regardless. You would have had your car payment paid. That's still in the same period, you know.
Yeah. You know, that that was the next month. That's frightening to me, Mrs. Ketterling.
I know,
That, you know, if
that.
you're okay for that month, you can just blow the rest of your money and worry about next month. That's not a road to security. You know, I know that the world has told you your value is in what you look like. I understand that. I get the world tends to tell that to women a lot, but that ain't it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I ain't got no hair, but you should see my bank account. You want to talk about power? You want to talk about owning your own and being respected? Get enough money. Won't nobody say nothing to you. Right. You with me?
Yes.
If you could get me to get him to do one thing that you think would save this marriage, what would it be?
Just to be equal with me in the marriage.
When you say equal, what do you mean?
Pay the bills with me, take care of the kids with me.
Take responsibility.
Yes.
For Mr. Ketterling, what do you say about that?
I want to ask you, since I've been sober, have I not the
He
best I
has-
could
he
financially
has been
take care
working.
of everything?
He's come up, okay, I could say that he's been working harder in the past 6 months than he has our entire relationship. And the most important thing is, I think, for him staying sober, obviously.
Let me tell you what I think you need to do. It ain't about the fall, it's about the comeback. You know what I mean? It's never been about the fall. Anybody can fall. I've fallen, you know, in different ways. Shows for everybody falls. It's about the comeback. You two are in the comeback period, still tagging each other for the fall. And I want you to stop that. You know, you can't say in the past, if he's doing now in the 6th month, you celebrate that. You paid your dues. You stayed with an addict. Now that he's cleaned up, cash that check. You know? Don't say in the past he did. You're doing this now, and I love this about you now, and this is so wonderful, and I am so happy, and this is so fantastic. You feed the good and don't keep bringing up the negative. You know, revel in what is instead of lamenting what was. You need to take your position in between her and the world that would judge her and say, no more. Because it's not that. She was a victim of that. But that's not who she was. That wasn't her character. That wasn't her value. If she thinks you think she's the most fantastic thing in the world, the extensions won't be as necessary. If she thinks that you think that she is good and kind and loving and trustworthy, she won't worry about how she looks and what she is, because she's had to worry about that all along. Let's take that off of her. You be the hero in her life. You be Superman that has come in and said, baby, I've taken you away from all that. I know that's not who you are. I know that's where you've been. That's what other people have done to you. But I know you're better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Y'all need to get passionate and excited about the turn that you've made in your life. People will wallow in what was, but most people can't step out of the past that you have. But you did. You've done the hard work. Spike the ball. Celebrate you know what I mean? You've done fantastic things. And I think the extent that the world does not acknowledge and recognize you, to heck with them. To heck with them. You celebrate one another. Your boys come to you with that nonsense. Hey, don't talk about my wife like that. You don't know her. Back up off that stuff. You know what I mean? Treat her like the queen that she is. Treat him like the new king that he is. Be happy together. Love one another and tell the world they can, well, you know. This matter is adjourned.
What I learned in court today, what I'm going to start doing different is I'm going to actually defend her when people bring stuff up about her. You know, I'm going to always support her in everything, and I'm going to keep staying away from the wrong people and keep doing the right thing.
To all the women out there that have been through what I've been through, I've been through, you know, abuse, molest, I've been an escort, domestic relationships, pretty much all of the above. I guess some advice I can give to you guys is just stay strong, and you're worth way more than what you're being put through, and just realize it. Realize it and embrace it.
Today on Divorce Court,
I feel she don't want to marry me maybe because she's scared.
I feel like I shouldn't just be shacked up in the house just doing nothing. Before I met Tyron, you know, I gave up everything. I had goals and aspirations and all those things too.
I feel things in our relationship has reversed because now I'm the house husband. I'm doing all the cooking and the cleaning.
All I see in my future is me and my career, me making my money.
Communication in our relationship is very one-sided. She does a lot of communicating. I really don't.
It's hard talking to him. It's like I'm talking to a brick wall. Everything has to go his way.
I think the judge needs to tell Tawanda to make her choice whether she wants to marry me or not.
He has a good woman, and if he care about me the way he's trying to cuff me, he might want to slow down and just follow my lead this time around.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Tyron Rivers and Tywanda Fouché. The two of you have been together for 13 years. You were married in 2007, you were divorced in 2008, and you came here to see me to do it. And now you're back again. We're going to start out by figuring out what I told you last time, and then once we see what I told you last time, I'm going to find out what you actually did. Why in the world are you people considering getting remarried?
The time we were apart, which is about maybe 2.5, 3 years, and us reuniting, she's not the same person. So hopefully in the future, she keep progressing to where we can say I do again. So she has progressed better.
Say something nice about her.
She's beautiful.
Say something nice about who she is.
She's caring.
And Judge, I asked him that all the time. I never could get an answer.
Yes.
I would get you a good mother to our kids. And I'm like, well, that's not saying nothing about me. Why do you want to be with me? I need to know.
I actually genuinely believe we were put on this earth for each other. I actually think we were meant for each other.
Now, Mr. Rivers, do you understand what I was trying to get you to do?
Yes, I do. Yes,
What was I trying to get you to do?
You were trying to get me to appreciate her for who she is and not just find the bad, but actually appreciate my woman more.
Yeah, for who she is as a person.
Yes.
Ms. Fouché, did I tell you to run?
You did.
But you didn't. And here we are again.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. No one's ever apologized before. That's a first. Mr. Rivers, why don't you tell me why you two are making yet another run at it?
Well, I want to let you know I did listen to and adhere to what you told me the last time.
Okay.
And I made changes. And with those changes, I had a conversation with my family, and everything has been good, except now she doesn't want to marry me. So I would love to know exactly why is it now that she doesn't want to marry me after all of the changes that I have made.
Well, tell me what some of those changes are.
Now, I compliment her at all costs, not just physically, but who she is.
You're supposed
I do all of the cooking. I do all of the cleaning. All of the stuff that she said I didn't do at first, now I do. She held over my head that I didn't do this, so this is why we can't get married. I didn't do that. All of those things, now I do, and she still refuses to marry.
That's because I went on strike from cooking and cleaning, so he had no choice but to cook and clean.
Ms. Fouché, have things really changed? And if not, what problems remain?
Well, things have changed. They really have. Like he said, the biggest problem was the family. Well, I thought that was going to be the biggest problem, but obviously I was wrong. So the family and everything is fine. That's perfect. But now he's controlling. That's because you choose to be.
Now I'm a house
But he's so controlling. You know, I can't talk to nobody. He don't like the way I dress. It's just a lot of things. I can't be me. He don't want me to be great, Your Honor. That's what it is. He don't want me to be great. That's what I think it is.
That's not.
So you're a house husband currently?
No, I do both. I do the work part, and I'm the house husband without the husband part. That's the bad part. I'm trying to get the husband part added on.
Okay. So what are your current complaints about him? Be specific.
Okay, well, my passion is music. Music, modeling, acting. That's when he met me. That was my thing. So if I have to record, he don't want me in a studio, or he wants to be with me 24/7. If I take business calls, most of the time, you know, it's male dominant in his business. So if I take a phone call from a male or something, I have to talk like I'm investigating him for murder or something. I can't smile, I can't laugh. If I hang up the phone, he's like, you had fun, that's enough of that. No, I can't talk, so now I don't take my calls around him. You know, I have to wait time away to take my phone calls, which is crazy. I can't go to the studio You know, and it's like, how I'm supposed to record a record or do anything if I go, you know, with the studio. My modeling, he have a problem with my pics. I like to be sexy. I like to dress sexy. You know, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
I have no issues with what she's doing. She just doesn't like that. All I ask is, I want to know at least who you're going with. A lot of the time, she'll have a studio session, and it'll be midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So yes, my question to her is, who you going
Who's
with?
there?
Right,
Yeah.
where's the, that's all I want to know. And when she go to the studio, Your Honor, it's like this. Why?
Because this
Why?
is
She
how I
don't have to be
dress.
sexy all the time. It's
Right,
okay
right.
to just be a
Well,
reserved
I can rock
sexy.
a garbage bag and still look sexy, so I don't know what he's talking about.
So why not wear a garbage bag?
You don't want me to do that.
Mr. Rivers, let me ask you this. Do you have a problem with the pictures that she takes?
Yes, I do.
Tell me what your concerns are.
My concerns are some of them could be a little raunchy. And on top of that, she went to take her video shoot. When she came back and showed me the video, and I looked at him, I said, you have a little something extra up top showing. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, well, you didn't ask. Well, I asked you how was the video shoot, but she admitted later on she didn't tell me because she knew that I was going to be upset about it. So all that did was make my problem blow
I
up
just
even
go
more.
do what I want to do because if I ask him, he gonna tell me no.
What was going on in the photo?
I have.
Well, let me
pictures.
see. So was there something that was out that wasn't supposed to be out?
Yeah. Yeah.
What you mean? Was it supposed to be out?
Something that I'm supposed to be.
No.
Was it like a Super Bowl moment?
Yes.
No.
Perfect. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
He's exaggerating. I turned down a magazine deal for him, which I shouldn't.
Tell me about the magazine deal. You turned down a magazine deal?
Well, you know, it was something I wanted to do. Somebody offered me to be in a magazine. I had to wear a bikini. Now that, I told him about it. And he was like, you're not doing that, this and that and the other. And I was like, okay, so my crazy self, you know, turned it down, which I shouldn't have. And this time around, I'm not turning nothing else down. No, I'm doing what I want to do. And he just got to deal with it.
You're a very pretty young lady. You really are. And these photos are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
They got a little hooch to them, little hoochie. But then again, there's an economic reality behind hoochiness.
Yes.
That you have to understand. I mean, if you are within the entertainment field, that's the current milieu. She can't go around looking like a school teacher and expect to get a gig. I mean, it's not like she's posing for Playboy.
She would if they came. Because
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this right here.
But, Yana, I feel this is the start. I feel if she would do this, it's only a matter of time.
But he met me like this. He met me.
Yeah, that's your fear talking. That's your fear talking. We're going to get past your fear, and we're going to figure out what it is we need to do next.
Foreplay to me is 15 minutes.
Well, you said 30 on paper, but okay.
Yeah, sometimes I even go 30. But for this one,
no,
still not enough. She'll ask for 30 minutes. If I give her 30 minutes, then she'll ask for an hour.
No, that's the problem. He's ready to work. Ain't no foreplay. I don't know what he's talking about.
Mr. Rivers, you say that you're a romantic fella?
Yes.
That provides plenty of foreplay, but it ain't never enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what?
Explain that.
Yes, it's plenty to me.
Explain that to me.
Foreplay to me is 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Well, you said 30 on paper, but okay.
Yeah, sometimes I even go 30. But for this one,
no,
still not enough. She'll ask for 30 minutes. If I give her 30 minutes, then she'll ask for an hour.
There's no time.
Exactly. By the time I'm ready to work.
No, that's the problem. He's ready to work. Ain't no foreplay. I don't know what he's talking about.
So what you say that your sex life isn't about foreplay, it's just too much straight to the business?
That's his. I don't know where he gets the romantic foreplay and all that. No, that's not him at all. He's lying.
She is lying.
No, he like to go in, bang, bang, finish doing what he's doing, go lay down and act like he really did something. That's
not true. That's not true at all.
That's what that is.
You say that he doesn't take you out on dates anymore.
No,
Why
we
don't
don't.
you tell me about that?
We don't go out. Well, I told him he's boring. You know, I'm the turn up. I like the party. You know, we get there and it's
I'm reserved, not boring. Everything don't have to be hoopla and screaming and loud and big. I'm just reserved.
Well,
like
if we go out to eat, there's nothing to talk about. There was a time we went to the movies. He fell asleep in the movies. Like, I mean, that was years ago. We don't go out.
I mean, because
he
we
haven't
went
took
to the
me out.
movies after I got off 16 hours overnight that day.
No,
That's
ain't no
why-
16 hours.
Oh, yes, it was.
He don't take me out, so he's lying. That's just not his thing. He like to stay home and play video games all day.
Ms.
That's what
Boucher, you've been with this dude forever. You
I
keep
know.
dragging him in and out of divorce court, but you're still with him. What you trying to get done here?
No, well...
Really, what are you trying to get done here?
Well, I believe in second chances, so this was his second chance. I don't believe in that 3 times the charm type thing. This is it. If
Well,
he
what
need-
is it you want him to do that he's not currently doing? I can't see. Listen, I love my husband to death, but if you said list 10 things that he does that it gets on your nerves, I got it right there. Boom, boom, boom. He can do the same with me. You guys are just talking past one another. Tell me what the problem is.
I have a list of stuff.
Well, we can pull a list out then.
A list?
I do. I didn't want to leave nothing out, really. I forgot, so.
Oh,
Let me see. So, all right, well, he's a procrastinator. So I need to stop procrastinating. He need to get down to business. We have a Christmas tree in the back of his truck from last year. A Christmas tree.
Is the Christmas tree still in the back of the
Lie
truck?
if you want.
Yes, it is. But, wait. But the battery on the truck is dead.
That don't have
That's
nothing to
why
do with
it's
your
there.
hands getting the Christmas tree. And the battery wasn't dead last year when around Christmas time when you should have threw the Christmas tree out when the people was coming around picking the tree up. That's still there. It's little things like that. I'm like, just do what you're supposed to do, and I wouldn't have to get nobody else to do it.
Okay.
That's the second time.
I'm going to take a moment, give you an opportunity to look at your list again, and you better come out with something better than the Christmas tree in the back of the truck. That's all I got to say.
I think she kind of embarrassed of me. If you look at all her social media sites, if you go down all of the pictures, you'll see everybody on there but me. Everybody.
You don't like that she's flashy. Are you insecure? Do you believe that she might go elsewhere if she flashes too much in the wrong direction? You say the family does not come first with her. Explain to me what you mean by that.
I mean, her brand. Her brand is what comes first to her. Anything that goes on around her is okay long as her brand is getting enhanced.
My brand is the equivalent of you with your video games. We can't go, if we have plans to go somewhere, everybody have to wait. We all dressed up, sitting on the bed waiting, because he's still in the first quarter, second quarter. We gotta wait till he's done to do anything.
That's not true. But sometimes
is true. You're lying.
I can be relaxing all day. We don't have nothing to do. All of a sudden, I get on the game. Soon as I get on the game, the first time I get on it, all of a sudden, I'm about to go run to the store. We all going.
How do you guys make money? Who's working?
I am.
You're working?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for probation and parole for the state.
Oh, okay, so you're a probation officer.
Yes.
And what are you doing? Are you pulling in money, or are you just working on getting ready to pull in money? Which is legit, though. I mean, because you got to work up to it. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I pull in money when I do my shows when he lets me, but, not no more because I'm doing what I want to do. But, yeah, so I'm in the entertainment industry, and I'm also in school for teaching, which that's what he supports to the fullest. He wants me to be a teacher.
I support her to the fullest.
No, you don't.
Everything she does, including with the business, with school, I'm the one who does
as long
it.
as he's there 24/7 to watch me.
No,
That's what he
The thing is, again, she doesn't ignore. I think she's kind of embarrassed of me. If you look at all her social media sites, if you go down all of the pictures, you'll see everybody on there but me. Everybody.
Because my social media is for my brand, my business.
We went ring shopping, and guess what? I bought a wedding ring for myself. When I asked her to get one for her, no. We went ring shopping, I said, hey, why don't we go to the store and get you a ring? She said, okay, I want a custom ring. I said, okay, no problem. We go to the store, and then I thought about it. I said, okay, so you also wanted a new car. So this is what I'll do. And it was kind of a test. I said, do you want a car? I said, do you want a car first, or do you want to get the ring first? I mean, because we're not going to get both of them.
Can't do both.
Right. She chose the car. And I didn't say anything. And I stayed true to my word, and I bought the car. But subconsciously, even till I still think she chose the car over marrying me.
Not the first time around.
The first time.
The first time around I married, you had your chance. You messed up. That's not my fault. That's
so you're
your
still
fault.
holding me to 5 years ago?
But you had me as a wife. Yeah. You had me. That's why you got to appreciate things when you have it.
You don't like that she's flashy. That's what I'm coming up with.
He's a hater.
You don't like that she's flashy. Are you insecure? Do you believe that she might go elsewhere if she flashes too much in the wrong direction?
No.
Yes,
No, I don't think that. I want her to be held to the same standard she holds me. I go out with my cousin for his party. He turned up with me for my birthday, so I said, okay, I'm gonna return the favor. Told her, I said, okay, I'm going out with my cousin to enjoy a party, to have a party.
That's not even
so
his
we
thing.
go. She sends a text. Are you at a club?
Let me tell. No, this what happened.
Let him finish.
I said, are you at a club? Yes. Why? Because you didn't tell me you was going to a club. You told me you was going here. So obviously one of her friends saw me in the club and so I immediately left. But yet she's going to Atlanta. When she's in Atlanta, I have a gig to do in Atlanta I'm in this club. So that's fine, but when I go somewhere, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Right.
Ms. Fouché, what do you have to say about that?
Well, that incident right there, he told me he was going one place. So, of course, when I look on social media, he's somewhere else. So, yeah, I'm going to check him on it. So I asked him. I was like, I thought you said you were going here. He was like, oh, well, yeah, but now we're here. And I said, okay, cool. That's fine. I left that alone.
My exact words, I'm going to turn up with my cousin. That was my exact, I didn't tell her no place I was going.
No, his exact words was he was going to a certain place, taco place, where you get tacos and drinks. That's where they were going. That's what he said.
And he ended up someplace else.
At a club.
At a club.
Yeah, and that's what happened. So, yeah, I checked him on it.
I'm going to take all this in, but at the end of the day, what you want me to do is get her to marry you.
Or tell me why she don't want to marry me.
Or tell you why she doesn't want to marry.
Rather than chasing the stars all around.
Well, let's find out about that together. I do not know what you children are talking about. You're out here, I asked for a list of things that are wrong. All I get, he's got the Christmas tree in the back of the car, and he's trying to block your shine. That's about it. That's all I heard.
That's the moral.
You're trying to tell me you want to marry her. Do you have any children together?
Yes, 3.
3 children. You need to go on and marry the boy. This is crazy. The ship is set. He's acting right, isn't he? I mean, if that is the whole list of things that are wrong with him, you need to go on and marry him, because it don't get any better than that.
Well,
it's never perfect.
Can you tell him, let me be great, then? He don't want me to be great. He blocking everything. He don't want me to work. He don't want me to be around
He ain't doing nothing to you.
Yes,
he ain't blocking your shine. He ain't stopping your life.
No.
He is not standing in your way. He's not keeping you from doing anything. He might be a convenient excuse for the reason why you haven't blown up like you believe you should have, but that is it, and that is all. This brother loves you. He's working. You got 3 kids with him. You're living with him. I told you to run from him last time. He didn't do it. I don't care. Listen. If I were you, I'd go on and marry him, because you're not going to leave him anyway. Complain to him, bother him, upset him, make him mad, keep him occupied, whatever you need to do. But don't y'all come back here no more, because I don't want to see you. It's matters adjourned.
After all these years, I know it's been a long time, but really I'm just trying to put my career first. That's the only thing that's on my mind. Marriage is not on my mind at all right now. I gave up everything in the beginning. Now it's all about me.
I'm gonna give her the next 4 years. By the time I'm 35, for her to say yes to marry me, or I'm leaving.
Today on Divorce Court.
John and I tried to start a family. It's been a really difficult road.
We went through a couple miscarriages, and it kind of messed us up emotionally.
Money is our #1 issue.
She likes to live the lavish lifestyle, so I tried to give her that because I was in love with her and, through us all financially.
Jonathan likes to accuse me of sleeping with a lot of different people, but that's not true.
She cheated on me in the past, and it changed ever since.
It tears me apart that we're not on the same page anymore.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I'm not gonna get shamed on myself.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Jonathan Chavez and Kelly Condori. The 2 of you have been together for 5 years, married for 2.5, but you do not want to be married anymore. You don't have any children together, but Ms. Condori, you do have a child from a previous relationship. You are again, getting a divorce. And Mr. Chavez, you are seeking over $8,000 for a number of things that you say she owes you, and we will talk about that momentarily. But before we do, Mr. Chavez, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
Well, we're here today because I just want to close a chapter in my life with this marriage. I do want to divorce my wife of 2.5 years, one of my best friends for 15 years. And it started back then. We met back in high school. You know, cute little chunky kid walks into cafeteria, sees a beautiful girl. I was infatuated from the beginning, even though I tried to play it like I wasn't. She
gotta be cool.
She definitely caught it on, though. I was sweating profusely the moment she grabbed my arm. For a while, you know, late teens and early adulthood, we were friends with benefits for a while. We never really solidified a relationship. We never really went out like a long period of time. But what happened was I was in a relationship for 4 years. We had a little falling out. She like basically threw me under the bus. And
now, which she are you talking about? The one you with the relationship?
My wife at the time, she wasn't my wife at the time. I was in a relationship with another girl.
Ms. Condori over there. Okay.
Correct. She basically told my girlfriend at the time everything that I was trying, you know, to contact her, maybe rekindle something. And we cut ties. I cut ties with her because my girlfriend at the time, like I said, I was 4 years with her. She just didn't want me speaking to her. So I gave her that benefit of the doubt, and I cut ties. That relationship ended short after, and about a year out of that relationship, I noticed that she had moved to Virginia, and I noticed she came back to New York. She was single, so obviously an old thing. I contacted her, we hung out, and we were intimate. We were intimate for about a week. And things got a little more serious. You know, I've kind of got more serious. I have more feelings for her. I cared more.
You caught feelings, as they say.
Yeah, basically. And we got together. And a year into our relationship, she ended up leaving and cheating on me. And I didn't see her for a week. I didn't hear from her for a week. I saw her post on social media that she was with family members of her ex, siblings. So I knew personally that she had slept with him.
When did you find out that while she was gone, she was sleeping with some other guy?
The later end of the week. So like Thursday, she left like on a Tuesday. I would say by like Thursday, Friday night, I knew she was already hanging out with a guy, which was an ex.
Let's talk to Ms. Condori for a moment here. Ms. Condori, is that true?
Somewhat.
Will you tell me what actually happened? Because it sounds pretty bad so far.
Yes. He mentioned, he was in a relationship with somebody else, and his family, when I came into the picture, his family did not like me. They basically saw me as
the side chick.
Yeah, they all basically gave me the cold shoulder, the nasty looks, the nasty remarks.
Well, can I ask you something, Ms.
Yes,
Condori?
ma'am.
What did you expect if you the side piece?
Ma'am.
What did you expect,
ma'am,
your reception to be?
That was between us. Nobody really knew about our situation at all. The family just...
Oh, that's just because you were young and don't know no better. Mamas know.
No.
I know which women my sons bring around and who's doing what to
who. No, ma'am, it was never like that. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it was never like that. His family just grew attached to his ex, and they would just naturally assume that they were going to be together forever.
Right.
So when I came into the picture, I was somebody brand new, and they just told him, like, you're moving on too fast. It's just been 9 months since they broke up. So obviously, we didn't care. We still, like, kept pushing on.
Right.
But it was a whole year of his ex being in the picture. We lived only right above his mother's house. So his ex would come to the mother's house to family events, family parties. That's how entwined she was in our lives. And she
But weren't you sleeping with him while he was dating her?
No, ma'am. That honestly, that is not my problem. That was between them and their relationship. And I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping with him. I wasn't sleeping with him.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
I wasn't sleeping with you. You were trying to sleep with me, and she caught you.
I slept with you at least twice during my relationship.
I didn't know you were still with her, though. So
it was in the beginning. That fallout
like I
happened
didn't know.
end.
We were in our sexual relationship wasn't, hey, how was your life? How's stuff with your mom or with your wife? No, he literally was like, I sent her home. We broke up, and I was like, okay, fine, we could do us, I guess. But he never really told me his situation with his ex at all during the times that we were messing around. Mm-hmm. But this is way before. I'm talking about in a relationship. In our first year alone. His family would attack me, his family disrespected me, his friends didn't like me, his friends disrespected me. And every time I would ask him about, like I would tell him, like, your family's doing this, he'll be like, don't talk crap about my family, that's my family. And he wouldn't listen that
you were being hurt.
Yeah, like your family is hurting me. Your family's treating my son like an outcast.
This when you were dating or
yes,
were you married?
Yes, this is a year of us dating.
A year of just dating, and they weren't accepting of your son and all of that. I understand that part of the story. I wanted you to finish that up, but then I want to get to the part where you explained to me that leaving town for a week
that's what I'm getting at too, ma'am.
If you're telling me that you're gonna go see your cousin
who lives with the guy that she's thinking about working things out with,
and I see these messages and I see what you tell him, you did it while I was at work, you took my money to pay for the bus ticket, and then you went over there to go be with him. That's what I felt.
So, Ms. Condori, why don't you tell me how the relationship with his family progressed, and then end with the story about you leaving for a week?
Well, it got worse, and within that year, it got really worse, and it affected me a lot because it just they showed it to my son. Mm-hmm. The whole
disdain,
the distance
dislike.
And everything. Yeah. So he would also show his indiscretions with my son too. Like, he'll try to keep away from him because he didn't want to get too involved with somebody else and have that separation again. Right. So for a whole year, I've been going. I'm seeing this, and
this is the whole year that you're dating.
Yes, that we're dating as boyfriend and girlfriend, living together as boyfriend and girlfriend.
So how long were you going together before you started living together?
2 months.
So, Ms. Condori, get me to the point where you left.
Well, at this point, I'm feeling confused. I already have commitment issues as it is. Mm-hmm. So I was not in a good position. We just finished getting into a fight about his family, and he wasn't realizing how I felt at all. So, yeah, I went to meet up with my cousin. Mm-hmm. My cousin happened to be hanging out with my ex. I stayed there for a week, came back, and I told him what happened. I told him how I felt, and I told him that even though he did wanted us to still stay together, I told him I wasn't where I was at. I didn't know what I wanted, and I was confused. So we took we broke up for 3 months. We still lived together, but I wasn't.
You guys weren't together.
Yeah, we weren't together. He was doing his thing. He was dating other people. He slept with somebody else, and
I was sleeping with you for the most part.
Do you have a different view or recitation of the events that occurred when she got back?
Definitely do.
Tell me what they are.
Before she left, originally, I didn't want her to go because I knew her ex was there. I knew she was still speaking with him. I've read messages. We were really open. She could look at my phone, I could look at hers. But occasionally she wouldn't delete the things that she needed to delete, which is telling the guy, hey, maybe we can work it out before leaving. So if you're telling me that you're gonna go see your cousin,
who lives with the guy that she's thinking about working things out with,
and I see these messages and I see what you tell him, I'm not gonna want you to go, and you go anyways, and you don't do it maturely. You did it while I was at work. You took my money to pay for the bus ticket. You took, you know what I mean, like, and then you went over there to go be with him. That's what I felt. And I've never got that closure. She's never given me a straight answer of, yeah, you know what? I was trying to work it out with him because of all the mishaps that we had.
I got you. Let me do this. I'm going to give you an opportunity to respond to that, but I also want you to discuss. My understanding is that your fights about these matters are so destructive that it contributed to the end of this marriage, and I want to talk about that.
We argue about everything. It's with him, his anger, it's literally tip it and he will go off.
Completely.
And he has called me a piece of crap. And it's not just a piece of crap. It's you're grimy, you're spiteful B-word, you're ungrateful, you're unappreciative.
I want to talk about the way you guys fight, but before that, Mr. Chavez accused you of wholesale ratchetness in the manner in which you dealt with this other guy. I want to give you an opportunity to respond about the things he said about the way you did it. Did you use his money and to go down there and all that kind of stuff?
No, ma'am, I didn't use his money to buy the tickets at all. Actually, the only thing I did do was take $50 from him, and that's about it.
That's about it, but the rest of it you paid for on your own?
Yeah. So I don't know what he's talking about. It's literally $1.50 in megabytes.
Mr. Chavez, you say that she's destructive and angry and tears stuff up. Give me an example.
All right, so there was one time that we were arguing, and it's always usually about another female in the picture or whatnot, and we had a shelf set, like a little shelf system, where we went to a wedding and she took a vase and put all the pictures of the wedding, and it was a nice
Beautiful,
ornament,
yeah.
nice memory for us as a family. We have pictures on there, old picture frames that we've had for a while now, and she literally came out arguing and she flipped it. Everything broke everywhere. She tends to throw cups. She tends to throw her phone. And she's just very vulgar with her talking to me. She calls me a piece of crap all the time. A fat piece of crap, to be honest. Because I've always been big. It doesn't bother me. I'm from New York. Snacks are for free. It's what it is. I've been.
I gotcha. Ms. Condori, what do you have to say about the nature of your
I've never called him any of those names. Actually, in fact, he's the one that's extremely verbal. He's the one that actually, we argue about everything. It's with him, his anger, it's literally tip it and he will go off.
Completely.
And he will, it's not, I only call him a piece of crap because he has done it he has called me that so many times already that it has pushed me to the point that if he doesn't care, I'm not gonna care neither. And it's not just a piece of crap. It's you're grimy, you're spiteful B-word, you're ungrateful, you're unappreciative, you don't
Those
do
I will
anything.
agree to. But the other
Mr.
ones.
Chavez, just take a step back. Usually both people are at least participating a bit in the foul words and the ugly language. So do you own that you get angry as well?
Yeah, of course, obviously,
and you're
yes.
yelling and hollering and everybody's acting a fool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, yeah, you got to own it.
All right, you're right.
you got to own it, okay. I want to move now onto something I think is a very deep and difficult story for you to tell. There was a miscarriage and a great deal of damage done to the relationship in the wake of that miscarriage, and I want to talk about that. Ms. Condori, I'm going to ask you to tell me about what happened with respect to the miscarriage and how his and his family's response burdened or hurt you.
We actually had 3 miscarriages. We've been trying to have a family for a year. Jonathan doesn't have any kids. I know that's his main goal. That has been his goal since he was 16 years old. I had the IUD for 5 years. I took it off, and people usually tell you that you get pregnant immediately. So we kind of held on to that. But every month, I would get my period, and it would be a huge disappointment. And he didn't realize that it took a toll on me, because I would get it, and he would just be like angry about it, that I wasn't pregnant.
That's not true.
So it would make me feel worthless. It would make me feel like I'm not doing something right. We got pregnant the first time. He jumped the gun, told everybody. Yeah, we were only 2 weeks. His family didn't take it as
a positive.
They weren't happy. Yeah, but we ended up having the miscarriage a week later after we made the announcement. The second time, actually, we were 3 months pregnant, and we made the announcement. And a week later, we lost the baby again.
Ms. Condori, I am so sorry So very, very sorry. Mr. Chavez, were you supportive? And I'm going to say something before I say this. Oftentimes, guys come in here when a woman gets a miscarriage and can't understand why she's, well, get over it. It's a process that just didn't complete, and don't understand the depth and the breadth of her grief. Were you supportive?
Yeah, I was very helpful. You know, I made sure she was comfortable. I mean, we fought a lot, but it was more of accusations at first.
He really wasn't supportive. A week later, after I had my miscarriage of 3 months, we were arguing, and he left because I kicked him out, I guess, one of those moments. And he started adding other females, looking at other females' Facebook a week after my miscarriage.
That was after the second one.
Yes, it was.
It was after the second one.
No, I'm talking about the second miscarriage.
Whatever miscarriage it was, how come you looking at other women a week after she lost your baby?
Absolutely. It wasn't like I probably did it out of just to get her angry, because she was kicking me out all the time. She was literally, and it wasn't it wasn't kicking me out at 8 in the evening, or where I could find somebody. She would pick an argument with me and kick me out at 3, 4 in the morning.
I see what's going on here. I see where you're missing each other. I see where your communication skills and your emotional, your ability to contain and control your emotions is not there. But I want to take this opportunity to get a third eye on this, because Ms. Kondori contends, and rightfully so, that a lot of what goes wrong in your relationship is a function of her feeling alienated from her family. So I want to bring Karima Capret out here so she can speak on behalf of the family, and maybe we can get some of that resolved. Ms. Capret, how are you?
Hi.
Good day. There is so much here. I've got a new witness. There is so much that everybody has to say, and I want to give this matter the attention that it deserves. So I'm going to adjourn it for today. We will reconvene tomorrow, get a fresh start, and we'll figure out what's going on. This matter is adjourned.
She likes to live lavishly in the sense of like going out to eat or going to the movies, and I would do these things. I would do these things even when we didn't have sufficient amount of income.
We closed the door, and his brother then proceeded, as my son was sleeping in this apartment, proceeded to kick the door multiple times because he was upset with what's going on.
Her attitude was very, I've been in this picture. You guys just don't know who I am. I've been a high school sweetheart. You know, so that's when we were just like, we never heard of you. We don't know who you are.